Howdy, y'all. Welcome to The Cooked Truth. Today, we are going into the intro. This is our very first podcast episode that we are recording, and we thought that we would do an introduction as to why we started this, what the vibe is, what you can expect. And so here we are. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jade.
This is my wife, Jade. Our last name is Cook, so hence the Cooked Truth. Kind of like, that's a frying pan. So, what's the vibe of this podcast? The vibe is that you're sitting at our living room table and we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
You're literally sitting at our living room table
You're on
right
like a little
now. Until we get something set up, you're at our dining room table. So, we had a lot of conversations from experiences that we had that we just thought we could bring a lot of value to people. And we wanted to do that unedited, right? We wanted completely. I feel like we've just seen so much in the world that, as we're talking AI, we're talking artificial, I'm nothing against all those things, great things as tools. But we live in a world where it lacks authenticity in a lot of rooms. And that's not a blanket statement saying there isn't authenticity in the world. But I believe there's a space where people are tired of the hyper edited, the superficial, the clean,
the indifferent behind closed doors,
the perfection, right? And we come from a background of being absolute dumpster fire, rolling down the street, messes in life. And so there's a lot of experiences and lessons that we've learned and landmines that we've stepped on that we believe could add value to a lot of other people.
At least someone, even if it's one person.
Yeah, that's something that I've really learned is the value of just impacting one person. So we appreciate that one person that's listening today.
Mom.
Hello. Hi, Mom. We're excited about this. This is something that we've been cooking up for a while. And, it's truly, we're excited because we love people. We're brand new parents. I'm 34, 27 years old, been through college, been through the education system. I left mine a little prematurely. However,
married 5 years.
Been married for 5 years. Our daughter's 10 months old. And we've just made a lot of mistakes, y'all. We've done a lot of stupid stuff. We've learned what we like and what we don't like. We've liked who we like to be around and who we don't like to be around. And a lot of this podcast is going to be primarily focused around relationships.
Boom.
Because there's nothing that exists in this world without a relationship. And if you say, I don't have friends, well, you've got a relationship with yourself. And how's that doing? Right? And so we want to shed light on things. Why the cooked truth? We want to take a big fat spotlight on areas that we've made mistakes in and where growth has grown out of. And we want to help give people tools and resources to take that spotlight and put it on themselves.
It's not a better than thou type of podcast. No. We're not coming from a professional background. We're not coming from a holier than thou background. This is just our experiences, our story. And I remember when we were thinking of ideas for this podcast, it was one night on our couch where I was like, man, we have so much life that we've experienced in a short amount of time that it would almost feel silly to just sit on and not share or even help someone with what we've gone through, especially his story. And that was kind of our initial pull for wanting to create this.
100%. Yeah. Side note, you don't get sober at 26 because your life is going so well. let's just throw that out there. Life's not going so great that you decide one day, I'm tired of drinking. That was my prime drinking years, right? You're just getting warmed up at 26. But I realized I had to look in the mirror and go, you know what? I've had a lot of relationships, friendships and dating. And they've all failed. And I had to finally look in the mirror and go, you know what? What's the common denominator of every single unhappy, bad relationship that I've had? Well, it's me, right? I can stare directly in the sun, but never in the mirror.
Is that T Swift?
That is T Swift.
Okay.
It's a great quote.
I
Think
mean,
about that though. How often do people look in the mirror and go,
it's true.
hey, mano a mano, I've got some things I want to work on.
It's facts.
And so we come from experience of dating, a lot of mistakes there, married for 5 years, a lot of mistakes there, and a lot of growth from that. We've been to a lot of conferences around the country on leadership that we went to. We've brushed shoulders with incredible people and not so incredible people, right? So we want to be able to share this as like stories. You know, we really want to be able to share our experiences and really help people avoid that, you know, put a light on some of the friendships and relationships that you have, be that your mom, your dad, your cousin,
give you
your
some
kids.
tools that, you know, we can give to you, like, hey, here's a hammer I wish I would have had in middle school to maybe navigate some things. Except I was trying to like build houses with my hands and I didn't have a hammer. So being able to have some type of tools that, you know, learn from us, learn from our mistakes of what we went through, so you can do better.
Such a great analogy. And I think a lot in like gardening terms. Post-COVID, I got really into gardening.
He was plant daddy.
Oh, I can show you the plants all around, but we'll do that tour another day. But I learned a lot, and I relate a lot of our mindset like soil.
Yeah.
Right? Do we have a mindset of concrete or a mindset of soil? And there's always soil under concrete. So no matter how hard someone's habits, life, or beliefs have become, you can always till up concrete. You just got to use the right tools. And what works in one season, or something else has to work in another season. And one tool that worked in that season doesn't mean it's going to work in another. What worked in this friendship necessarily might not work in that relationship. And we've done that, a lot of that. We've used a lot of the wrong tools before, and we've done things the wrong way. And so I love what Jade said there, is we are not coming from a place of expertise, but we are coming from a place of like, we know what we're talking about, right? This is street smarts versus book smarts. My wife is the book smarts. She went the summa cum laude, got the degree, very highly intelligent. I ran around the streets for a little bit, right? And so if you're watching this and you're like, that's not the Caleb I know, you're damn right. Because getting into therapy, thank the Lord. Getting into therapy, getting into counseling, sobriety, rehabs. I mean, so much work that I did on myself before I met you allowed, I believe, for the relationship that we have. I believe in God's timing for sure. If we would have met at any different time, we would not be sitting here right now, right? And so we're excited for this, right? We're excited for you to be listening. We're excited to build community is what we want. This isn't just something where we want to be talking at a screen and we don't know any of you. We want to get to know people. We want to build a community that can foster growth. That you might have a garden or a mindset or a life that's got a lot of weeds in it. You might have a lot of stuff going on in your life. We want to help maybe take some tools that can equip you. We want to empower you to be the change that you want to see in your world, right? And that's our goal, is to be a light of the world, right? We were going to share about our parenting. We're going to share about our faith. We're going to share about things from maybe a different perspective that you haven't seen or heard things. You know, Jade and I are very rooted in our faith, right? We are Christians, but I believe that there has been a poor image on that in the last, at least the last 10, 15 years.
Especially with social media.
With social media, and there's so many talking heads of things. There's so many different opinions on things.
We just learned that today.
We did.
Nobody knows what to believe right now.
And everyone's got an opinion, and this you can take as our opinion. But this is an opinion that's been ran through experience. Not just something that I've said, but we're going to talk about as something that we've experienced. And what we've seen and how we can maybe bring some change to it and how you can bring change to it. Right? That's something that I'm very passionate about. As a raising a daughter, I look at, there is a pop culture, the world, that is after my daughter's attention. And it is our responsibility to equip her for the world and not equip the world for our daughter. I hope that she is independent and builds independence and doesn't need me when she's ready to go out into the world. Well, that's going to take a lot of work. That's going to take a lot of fertilizing the right garden for her so that things won't be exactly how I grew up, right? As a parent, you always want to do better than what your parents did. There's good and there's bad. And there is, I believe, you're calling it an attack. There is an attack for your kids' attention today. Whether it's social media, whether it's schools, whether it's friends, whatever it is in the world, there is...
Kids, but your attention.
And your attention, 100%, right? There is a wanting for your attention. And where your attention goes, energy flows. We're very passionate about marriage. Young married couple, right? We're excited. We want to be an example to how a healthy marriage can cultivate.
Yes.
And how we were going on the other path, right? So again, this is going to be a lot of like, how can we share and give you something that you can apply to your life?
Like you're going on a hike and you're like, man, I really wish I had some Gatorade with me. And you forgot it. We're like, oh,
here you go.
Here you go.
Electrolytes will get you feeling a little bit better.
And you're like, wow, thanks. I really needed that. And we're like, here's some snacks along the way. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I needed snacks. I didn't know I was hungry.
It's so good. It's a good
Just
analogy.
A little bit of little something.
Your trip guide.
Yeah.
Your trip around the earth. If you know, you know. But we're going to share real experiences, guys. We're going to talk about adult friendships, relationships.
Boundaries.
That's a good one.
Yep. I thought you were going more.
That was fun. Oh, man. No, we're going to talk about parenting. We're going to talk about how to navigate. The things like boundaries is going to be like a 7-part.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about.
So much. And again, we want to bring authenticity to it. That's our biggest goal is I don't think that we know I know that we don't know everything, but I do believe
we know something.
There are things that I wish I would have known when I was younger, in my 20s. There's things I wish I would have known when I started 30, things I wish I would have known as a parent. And we're still cultivating. What's so going to be fun about this podcast is we've got a brand new baby girl and we're going to be learning a lot. And I hope that we can learn together. I hope this is a space that you can come into and rest, that we can create a safe place for friendship.
Whether you're on your drive right now or you're at the gym or wherever you are at home listening to this podcast, our hope is that something resonates with you, even just, I want to think about that, or a question or anything that just adds value to you, that allows you to create change in your family, in yourself, and positive change.
Yeah, that's huge. That's so big. And we're so grateful for those of you that are listening. We're excited to be taking this journey on with you. Share this with your friends. Share this with a coworker that you may think a topic that we talk about can help them. Our goal is to build this on our YouTube platform. So if you haven't subscribed, that button is right there. We ask that you would please support and subscribe to it. Click that like button. If you've got questions or comments, drop it in there.
Yeah. And we're so open to conversation. We're so open to constructive criticism. We're so open to what topics that you want to hear, that you think, if you do know us very well, that we could really share good stories on, or our experiences. We love that. We want this to be as if we're friends talking in our home, at the kitchen counter, on the couch, in our living room, wherever that is, but just being real and being able to have a safe space, like he said, to be authentic.
Yeah, and if you don't know us, feel free to ask us questions as well, right? This is something that we are so excited, again, to cultivate community.
Yeah.
And foster dialogue back and forth. And maybe we may say things that you don't agree with. I would love to hear about it. If you've got something that I said that I was wrong about, or something that you have a different perspective on, I would love to hear that. I believe that we live at times right now, whereas if you don't agree with me, I can't have a conversation with you. Or because you believe this way or you vote that way, this is the box that I'm putting you in. I refuse to live in a box. It is the last place you're going to put me. So I am so open to different dialogue and conversation and listening. And that's why we wanted to create this space, is where you can be authentically you. So we're excited. Anyway, again, any way that you can support through the subscribing, that's where it's at right now. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, and our goal is to get 1,000 people subscribing on YouTube right now. That's our goal. So any way that you can do that, we are so grateful for it. And again, you chose to listen to this and spend the last, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour with us. We're so grateful for you. We're excited to get to know you more.
And listen in on our first big episode on adult friendships.
Yeah, that's going to be our first one, as we're diving right into adult friendships, navigating that. What does that look like? So,
how do I make friends?
Dude, how do you make friends today?
You gonna be my friend?
I will be your friend.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
Best friends.
Thanks.